I just watched my first 3 videos from Immersion, and I feel that I've changed a lot. So I believe this is a product of getting away from the constant drive of school for a few weeks and getting out of my head and back into my body and really reevaluating myself. And I notice that now I'm different around people, around my friends, family, and even the way I perceive my own self, seeing who Adam is, speaking in the third person. And I'm going to share an Alan Watts quote with you right now. The real you is not a puppet which life pushes around. The real, deep down you is the whole universe. And it's waving your life organism, your living organism, in all its behaviors. It's expressing it the way a singer sings a song. So before this immersion, I was really proactive in most things I did. I tried to get things done, I kept pushing forward, I was forceful with the issue, I resisted, I fought, I struggled. And I was actively trying to fight against this idea of me being a puppet. I didn't want life to do me. I wanted to do life. I wanted to be able to control things in my life. And by having to fight the universe and what will happen, I was really just proving to myself how little I could really control my own life. And this fatalistic or deterministic idea that you have no control over your life whatsoever, and what the universe does is control you, is really not a positive thing. I mean, I want to feel like I have control over my own life, but what I had to do first was accept that we really can't control anything. I mean, we're just here for a short amount of time, life is transient, and the universe isn't really pushing me down, but I myself am part of the universe. I'm part of something greater and bigger, and when I can accept this inseparability of the self and the universe, I'm no longer fighting against it, I'm just working with it. And this makes a seemingly fatalistic idea, like no free will, really liberating. After watching The Matrix during immersion, we also learned what happened in the second and third movie, and how the humans will try to learn to coexist with machines, and how you can never truly escape the Matrix. And I saw this as humans having brains. So we have these amazing things that can build skyscrapers and spaceships and compose symphonies, and we have consciousness and all these beautiful things, yet we're still stuck in the Matrix. Our own physical bodies, we're trapped within these fleshy meat vesicles that carry around this beautiful brain, and at times we want to escape, just like Neo and Morpheus, from the Matrix. And what the immersion has shown me is that I too have to coexist with my brain and my body. I mean, they're definitely not a duality, they aren't mutually exclusive. I can have both, but they need to work together, and I need to not get into one so much and out of the other a lot. And I have to accept my own humanity and my own mortality. And finally, I'm going to talk about what life will be like after this immersion. So, through the meditation we've done and just getting away from normal life, if you want to call it that, I see that on a daily basis we're inculcated with these meta-narratives and social constructs and these taboos like consumerism, ideas that come from the church, a fear of death, believing we have some form of security, seeing sexuality as a bad thing. And what this immersion has allowed me to do is look back not only to the beginning of the immersion, my 3 videos I made, but all the experiences in my life that I can recall, remember, and see that what has really been driving my life a lot of the time is the expectations of others and ideas that come from other people, not from myself. And I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I know I'll probably get a lot of flack if I tell people that everything we believe is wrong, and I don't think that. But I've been able to realize that a lot of the things that motivate us and why we do things is because of other people and ideas we perceive as being true. And I've really had to consider my own identity and who am I and what life values do I have. Am I actually motivated by certain life values I have on my own, or do they just come from my family, from school, from friends? And this immersion has really given me the gift of disillusion. I've started to question why I do things, and meditation has played a big part in this, just getting back into my own body, which to me seems like some form of truth, or it's not necessarily relative to anything. I mean, it's your own direct truth that you experience. It is reality. Even if something like pain isn't necessarily reality, but something that comes from the brain, what we feel and what we sense is our current reality. And so through this, I've considered my own life values and what I want to live in accordance with into the future. Most people truly don't know what they want out of life. They just do it, They don't know what their life values are, and they allow people and systems to make these decisions for them, with society dictating their values and their own identity. And any success one has in this way is pretty hollow, because it wasn't you and the values you had, but you trying to please other people and what society wanted. And one of the big life values I've taken away from this immersion is integrity. So integrity is more than not lying to other people about things, honesty, but it's about not lying to yourself. If you have things you want, things that drive you, you have to be honest about that and take action and move with those things and towards them, rather than pursuing what you think is the right thing to pursue just because others say so. And speaking of integrity, I want to thank MVS, Rachel Moulton, and Jay Shirley. And they put a whole lot of faith in us these past 4 weeks. I mean, to do things from an outside perspective that seem insane, like shooting arrows and doing Toshindo meditation. But for me, those experiences have been totally worthwhile. I really hope that we'll keep having this immersion at the school. I hope other people can derive value from it as well.